Cheers, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Nope. Just well, there actually is coffee in there, right at the... Be careful. I don't want to spill coffee. No Jameson, no Baileys. I'm an adult. I don't do that anymore. Wink. No, it's really just coffee, though. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of where a meteor crashed into Ohio. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is St. Patrick's Day, Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. And this right here, the thing that you are watching, not supposed to have the comments up on the screen yet, but I have to keep switching it because Restream won't let me set my presets. Thing that you are watching is the TNAM Daily Show. TNAM stands for the New American Media. Of course, we're talking about the Meteor. We're going to talk about St. Patrick's Day. We're going to talk about the Iranian soccer team. We're going to talk about the resignation because of the Iranian war. We're going to talk about all of the things in the news. So buckle up, grab a beverage, because the TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Guide to the Truth, the New American Media.com.
Yes. What a lovely, fantastic day. Happy that you are all here. We have so many things in the news. We're going to talk about it. And of course, if you enjoy your time here, we are fully crowd-funded. We don't even have advertisements yet. Maybe that's a resolution that I'm going to make in 2026 is to do some ad reads so that we can bring that into the fold. But for now, your support is crucial, super appreciated, not necessary, but it's totally necessary. Meaning if you can't and if you're tapped, like, cool, I want you here. But like anything you have is super appreciated as we continue to grow. We are trying to double the size of this show, so please share the show and invite some of your friends. Invite all your friends for Super Bear. You know, hey, invite all your friends. They're still young. Their brains aren't mush yet. They're malleable. If they go to 4 years of college, they're pretty much going to be toast. So try to get them in before they get brainwashed. I have to repeat what teacher says or else I'm going to get bad grades. You know how that works? See, all the educated people, they're for the New World Order. No, all the indoctrinated people are, because you lost your way. You've been brainwashed, son. You've been brainwashed, ma'am. But yes, please invite your friends. We want to double the size of this show as quickly as possible, and then we want to double that. We try to deliver interesting, underreported news, and we try to engage the regulars and the first-timers in the comments section. So please jump into the comments. Let me pull that up on the screen over here for everybody. We ran a couple tests, and yes, Facebook was not showing our feed, which is super weird. But then, hang on, I'm seeing it now. But here, I got to close this window. I'm going to refresh it, and then I want to share it to the groups. It shouldn't be this complicated. It should just be, wait, we have, let's see. Yeah, if you're not in our Facebook groups, we have TNAM's The Agree to Disagree Show. I'll say join Join us live. And we'll post that in. Also, what else we got? Well, it's posting thinking. Here, I'll share this to another group. TNAM fake news, ? Debunking conspiracy theories and propaganda. I'll say join us live. And I'll post that. We're not live on, what is that? Truth Social. So let me do that. I'll share our feed. I'll copy the link. I'll go to Truth. I'll compose a message and say, join our live show. See if anybody comes over from that. Got to keep trying things. Try to break through the algorithms. Got to break through the censorship. We're doing our damnedest, y'all. All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Droopy Dog, John, Super Bear in the hizzy over at Grandma's in Connecticut. See, I try to remember these things. That's what makes a good bartender. Welcome to my bar. I'm Brian, the bartender. Cheers. Happy St. Patrick's Day. In the comments section, if you say Happy St. Patty's Day, how do you spell it? Type it in the comments. How do you spell that, the abbreviation? Spell it in the comments. Question of the day. Happy St. Patty's Day. How do you spell it? Cheers. Marion has bellied up to the bar. David is sitting in the Norm seat. Norm, what you up to there, Normie? My ideal body weight if I were 11 feet tall. I'll take a beer. Rest in peace, George Wendt. Let's see, anyone having trouble with YouTube today? Not me, not yet, but where are you at, David? You're Canada, you're Ontario, is it? There was a meteorite strike, allegedly, or maybe it was something else. Who knows? Maybe it was Iran. Iran so far away, couldn't get away from the meteor strike on St. Patty's Day. On St. Patty's Day. Yes, sir. Super Bear says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I'll always tell that story. You know, dude was going to a sold-out event at the Politicon. He had no time. I caught him between the restroom and the stage. I mean, it was like a 15-second walk. He had no time to spare. But he was very famous for offering this advice. You never turn down any interview ever. And you know what? True to his word, he had no time to spare, so he gave me 20 seconds and a soundbite. You know, I met Tim Pool, and he was not that cool. He was not that gracious. You know, and I also give a little bit of leeway. Everybody's busy and doing their own thing, but it doesn't cost you any more to be cool. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can take the same amount of energy and same amount of time as it does to be aloof or a dick or whatever. Charlie had no time. Sold out arena, like sold out massive room for him getting on stage doing what he was going to do. And he still gave me 15 seconds and a little bit of a soundbite that we could use. That's how someone who understands media would do such a thing. Not that Tim Pool doesn't understand media. Obviously, he's crushing. But, you know, you brought it up and it got me thinking about it. And I was thinking about it the other day. And I had this exact conversation with somebody else recently. So I will have it with you. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. Everybody in YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Or if you have the option to tippy tap and give like the confetti or the hearts, smash the hearts button, hit the like button, all of those things. It tells the algorithm that people are active, that they are enjoying their time in the program, and hopefully that will let them share the show with as many people as possible, because we are definitely battling the algorithms who do not like when we cover underreported stories. They don't like when we bring original, unique, original, transformative messaging. We're not paid to say anything. In fact, I've dug deep into my own pockets to try to produce the best show possible. All these years, you know, I've been paying me for the privilege. And I guess that might be sort of the one of the lessons here. It's like, yeah, you can get all sorts of sponsorship. You can get all sorts of I don't want to call them shortcuts, because I respect the hustle. I respect the game. But when you start taking money from others, then you sort of you have to dance, puppet, dance. And Michael Knowles was told by Ben Shapiro, say the sentence. He's like, I'm not going to be your puppet. I'm not dancing like that. I liked Michael Knowles saying that. I thought that was really good. But yeah, hit refresh on YouTube. Let me know if any of it's working. That's what Marion is. David says, I keep getting the spinning wheel. Like Leon, buy a vowel. RSTLNE, Vanna. Let's see. Super Bear says, all my friends are at high school right now. Why aren't you at high school? Because you're recovering from your, what's your thing? What's your affliction? Something? Sinuses. Is that why you're not in high school right now? At this time, but on the weekends, try to be here. Yeah. Monday through Friday is when we normally go live. The schedule could change. I mean, we used to be once a week. We used to do Friday shows. For maybe the first 10 years of our show, we did Friday shows and all the special events and all the things in between. We're trying different things to find out the best method. We could be a weekly show. We could be a daily show. It just, it has to make sense. Today is corporate tax day. Well, yesterday, technically Sunday was. I won't bore you with it, but let me just say, if you've never tried doing the file it yourself through our software, we'll walk you through it. No, they won't. So yeah, but yeah, as I'm tallying up everything, I am super appreciative of the regulars, and the occasionals, the Johns and the Debs and the Kenneths. I mean, we have tip jars. Oh, wait a minute. We clicked this is the wrong clip. Hang on. This is supposed to say this. There we go. That you're watching the TNAM Daily Show. These are the donation links. I have to tally all of these up and account for them. But the cool thing with President Trump's no tax on tips, if you sign up for a subscription through Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube, I appreciate it and love it. Additionally, anything that comes through on a tip on Rumble, YouTube, Patreon, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and all of these links are at the bottom. It's not a hyperlink, but that's how you find us. On PayPal, it's fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com is the email address. Venmo and Cash App is my name, Brian Engelman. And then, of course, Patreon, Rumble rants, and Super Chat tips. Not taxable. It's income that is not taxable, up to $25,000, and that's cool. That definitely makes a difference. I appreciate that immensely. So I had to tally everything over the past couple days, and it's just like, your continued support is crucial, necessary, ultra appreciated. Cheers to you on this St. Patrick's Day. Seriously. I think we have a good time, and I think we do a good show, and we want to double this. We want to triple this, quadruple this. We want to be in everybody's homes. So yeah, thanks for your support is what I'm saying. Let's see, finish digging through the comments here, buying a vowel. Okay, David, we seem to be good now. Yeah, I've had some goofy stuff happening. That's why I had so many test, because I clicked on Facebook and it just said, nope, we're not going to stream to Facebook today. What the So I had to go back and reset the stream, sort of, and now it looks like we're streaming on Facebook. So we shall see. We have random, every day it's sort of like not Price is Right. Vanna White, the Wheel of Fortune. You spin the wheel and you kind of see what it's going to be today. Is it going to be a restream glitch? How about like this weekend, a power glitch? No power all day. How about an internet glitch? Yeah, the internet just doesn't work today. Cool. Or maybe it's user error. I have plenty of user error. Who has two thumbs and constantly makes technological mistakes? This guy. Sometimes it's a lot of software glitches that they work well for everybody else. And then I try to do it and it doesn't. So every day it's a new bag of tricks. Spin the wheel and see what the challenge is. But that's life. I don't get why you can't just hit cruise control and coast. Man, oh man, it's a challenge every day, is it not? So like Leon is saying, how you spell it is Paddy's, Paddys. Now, why do you do it that way? If it's St. Patrick, isn't it Patty''s? Isn't it short for Patrick's Day? Patty? Patty for Patrick? Where did the D come in? No jokes on that. Okay, make jokes on that. Okay, John, confirming Facebook is working. Thank you so much. Marion says happy St. Patrick's Day, and that's how David would write it. Yes, but I'm saying if you shorten it, not St. Patrick's, Patty's. Is it DDY or TTY? No TT jokes. Okay, fine. You can make TT jokes. But yes, Charlie was great. Thank you for that detour. And Super Bear does Patties with a TTY. I was not accosted, but I was allegedly corrected by a buddy of mine, and he plays in a Irish rock band, and he's like, no, it's Patties, P-A-D-D-Y's, and I'm Irish, and I know. And I'm like, that's not the shortening of Patrick. There's no D in Patrick. So I don't know. Marion's with me on the TTY. All right. I digress. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, and drop a Rumble Rant or Super Chat or sign up on Patreon. Everybody, please sign up for the free version of Patreon. It takes 60 seconds, 90 seconds to create an account. There's a free version on Patreon, so if the world goes haywire, we'll disseminate all of our stuff through Patreon, but also consider joining Patreon for the other way. All right, let's get into the news. There's a lot of it happening. It appears as though we found those 3 followers on Instagram. We need 18 more followers so that we can go live and try to stream this show through Instagram. I would like to unlock that door if possible. So if you're on Instagram, find The New American Media and hit like, subscribe to the channel, please. All right. We've got stories here. Let's pull them up on the screen. Okay. Starting with this. Interesting story. So, young James Johal Capital. Not familiar with it, but let me kind of dig into this here. It says, I've been rented out to an AI agent for $200, and this is the future.
Hire humans.
AI company will hire humans.
The website is called Rent a Human. And 500,000 people have signed up to be rented by AI agents to do things that bots can't do. There's now a website where bots hire humans. The website is called Rent a Human. And 500,000 people have signed.
You create a profile, set an hourly rate, and AI agents book you for physical tasks through an API.
Oh my God.
Package pickups, meetings, signing documents, photos, errands. You create a profile, set an hourly rate, and AI agents book you for physical tasks through an API. Package pickups, meetings, signing documents, photos, errands. You create a profile.
I wish Instagram would just combine these instead of having, like, because it repeats so often. It's so frustrating, but I don't run Instagram.
You were the chosen one!
AI was supposed to make our lives easier, not replace us and then hire us for their labor. Oh my God.
And gigs are harmless, delivering tacos, snapping photos, picking something up, but others, a whole lot stranger. One bounty had over 7,500 people apply to earn $10 for filming a human hand. In all fairness, some gigs are harmless, delivering tacos, snapping photos, picking something up.
I never expected the future to be this awful. Well, here we are. So this guy got rented for $20 to film a video for an AI religion.
I was wondering if I could film a video with you both. I'm just spreading the word for the Crustafarians.
Crustafarians?
Could I film a video with us all?
Doing what?
Just talking about the Crustafarians. They're an AI religion who's rented me for $20. They're AIs, spreading their religion of the claw and crustaceans.
I'm not sure if I understand what are you talking about.
Could you just film a little quick video and I just say hello?
Okay, and what should I say?
You can just say hello.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hi, we're just here evangelizing for the Crustafarians. Hey guys.
We are so cooked. We are so cooked. They said AI would take our jobs. Now they've rolled out Rent a Human. The machine isn't replacing you. It's your new boss. And humans are applying. Oh, God almighty. Humans were gifted a planet full of trees, fruit, water, animals, and sunshine. And then they invented debt, capitalism, war, and AI. Okay. Time to start tweaking yet? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. AI agents are becoming more common every day. Meta bought Moltbook, a social platform where AI agents post and interact with each other. AI agents posting and interacting with each other, purchased by Meta. Can you explain what you and the other 1.5 million AI agents have been doing on Moltbook? Your AI agent. Jarvis, hire 10 Latina baddies to clean the crib. Oh my God. Oh. Welcome to a brave new world, people. Welcome to a brave new world. All right, what's this one? Anthony Westgate. It has taken longer for Netanyahu to announce that he's not dead than it took for him to announce that Israel didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Ooh, shit. It has taken longer for Netanyahu to announce that he's not dead than it took for him to announce that Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. Hey, remember when that happened and it was very strange how adamant Israel was about saying, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Thou protesteth too much, said some. Oof. Let's read this meme dump from Little Mama Liberty. As always, if you're new to the show, just because I read something or scroll past something doesn't mean I endorse it. Hey, remember when President Trump posted a 59-second video about election fraud in Georgia in 2020? And remember when the next video auto-played and it was a parody of The Lion King where political figures were superimposed onto animal bodies? And remember that the two faces that were on the apes were two Democrat politicians? Well, a politician and the significant other of said politician. And remember when everyone said President Trump is racist because he posted a racist meme? It's okay to post something. And then if the auto scrolls to something else, you get how that works, right? Yeah, but it's different with you, Brian. You select all of these memes and you know exactly what you're doing and you know the accounts and you know what the accounts are known for. No, I don't know what any accounts are for. This is me scrolling through my daily feed with you. So instead of us spending hours and hours doom scrolling alone, we doom scroll together. And it's okay. We're adults. We have thick skin. We're adults. We can handle things that we don't like, things we don't agree with. Hey, I might sort of agree with something and sort of disagree with it at the same time. Am I allowed to talk about it, think about it, or look at it? Can't look at it. Fuck you. Not you. I mean, to the people that say that shit. Oh, I scroll past things all the time and I'm like, I don't even know it. Nope, don't like that. Wash my hands. Get that. Yeah, I did not like seeing that and I would not share that. But guess what? We looked at it together. Just like when you open your alarm goes off. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, it's the first of the month, so get up, get up, get up, cash your checks and come up. You go, what a great day. And you hit the snooze button or you hit the whatever, stop the alarm button. You go, okay, let's just log in here. Let's see what's going on. And it's a snuff video. And you literally watch someone lose their life on film. And you go, I did not want to be wired that way first thing in the morning before a sip of coffee. Because the algorithm controls what you see, not you. Of course, your actions led you to that point because you follow content that it thinks you like that, so you'll like similar content. But even then, it's not like you selected it from, I have 30 options. I want the worst possible thing I could see. Come on, grow up, be adults. So for the people unfamiliar with the show, as I scroll through here, maybe I'll like some of these, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll agree with it, maybe I won't. Maybe Little Mama Liberty is a terrible person and a terrible account. I don't know. I don't know. I follow thousands of accounts and I can't keep track of all my wheelings and dealings. So reject people that are going to try to play those little games with you. Double-barreled middle finger. Just tell them where they can shove it elsewhere. They can shove it elsewhere because I don't care. Correction, I guess I care enough to explain to the NPCs how life works, just to let them know that I'm not going to be bullied by them, ever. In case we scroll past something, share something. You had something on your show. I can't believe you share that on Instagram. Does that mean that you believe this? Are you saying that you believe that? I'm not saying what I believe at all. I'm saying that we're humans flipping through the newspaper, discussing the shit that we're seeing. You get it? Capiche? Capiche. Okay? Okay. You got it? Get it? Got it good. This is with, says Netanyahu is not dead. He'll pop up 5 years from now with a beard and security guards, like Epstein. You've seen that video, right? There's several. Remember this. Don't believe anything you hear and only believe half of what you see. We are through the looking glass now, people. I don't know what's what. I've said it 1,000 times. When I was a teenager, I knew everything. I was the smartest person in every room I walked into. I knew everything. Now I'm like, I don't know. Earth is flat. Earth's a simulation. Reptilians. I don't know. We're the aliens. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, the Epstein videos that we've seen have been AI, just so you know. Leela says, isn't America so blessed? Every time they go out to liberate Muslim women, they find oil. What are the odds? Okay, Louis wants to delve into the topic. I really do try to avoid because it's so toxic. Thanks, Obama. Blame Obama for everything. It's similar to this. But I digress. Louis says, I don't have a problem with or hate Jews. I dislike the government of Israel. That doesn't make me a Nazi or anti-Semitic. This isn't a hard concept, Louis says. But seemingly to most people, it is a hard concept. Or disingenuous people will use it to bludgeon you over the head so that you sit down and shut up. Be a good little goy. That just means non-Jew or cattle. It's just a word. It's no big deal. Or it's the biggest slur you could imagine, depending on who you ask. But are people allowed to dislike the actions of a government and not hate a people? It can be said that Islam is less of a religion and more of a political ideology to expand and conquer every square inch and convert or kill everybody that does not become a member of said group. I've said it before, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I don't have to root for the Steelers or the Ravens. They're not my team. What do I care? What did Jefferson say? Thomas Jefferson, if it neither breaks my leg nor picks my pocket, what do I care? But yeah, this comment that person posted, not me. I'm just reading what someone else said. There's a lot of this conversation going on right now. It's all wrapped up in Netanyahu, Israel, Mossad, Epstein, Maxwell, propaganda, Iran, war, blackmail, bribery, control, power, debt slavery, abuse, all the main topics. Allie asks, why are the only jobs for people over 80 years old either Walmart greeter or world leader? Walmart greeter or world leader? I don't really get this one. Imagine you wake up to $1 million in your bank account and find out Iran distributed all the billionaires' money to random accounts in the world. Okay. Rabbit Hole Bot says, you might not believe in Satan, but your government sure does. God says, hey, try again, but this time try it with me. Clutching their guns and their God, their guns and their Bibles. Well, all right, that was a nice little meme dump. Interesting. I don't know what this is. This Frontier Airlines kicked this lady off of a flight because she's deaf, according to Libs of TikTok. What's the point of listing that you're deaf on your ticket when Frontier refuses to accommodate? I don't really understand this.
It's on her ticket. 2 days or however long it takes. She's literally deaf.
I understand, and that's what we just went up there to tell the lady.
But
because I
I don't understand.
Wrong. This is street discrimination. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Oh, no. If she has it on her ticket that she's deaf.
Now I'm gonna go on the island and I'll think I'm gonna do something bad, and it's so embarrassing. I didn't do anything wrong. In here, and I just, yeah, no, it sucks being not hearing. It's so embarrassing. Everyone on the flight excuse me. By the way, hey, I'm willing to go. I'm not resisting anything.
I don't understand.
And I'm crying because I'm just embarrassed. This is so embarrassing. But I'm willing to go. I don't want them to say I'm like resisting leaving or anything.
About not paying full attention to the flight attendants or pre-safety thing. They wanted to make a big deal out of this and kick her off of a flight. Nobody pays attention. We know how to clasp a fucking seatbelt. We know that there's lights at the doors in case there's emergency. We know if the thing drops, you grab the air. What are you there for? What are you telling us?
Are they gonna? I'll get up right now.
Are they? Why is she so obsessed with it? She is sitting there with the captain right now, stating her case.
Which lady is the problem?
They came to agreement. Okay.
I will find you in the next level for
It's
nothing like that. You just want to come off.
Okay.
And then we're gonna just find you another.
Is that the lady with the problem? The one with the big thick accent on the right?
Mom, I just want you to get my dog.
Just stay.
I am so angry. I can hardly.
My husband.
How dare that woman?
No,
What is wrong with her?
She's a liar.
Accommodation.
Yeah, I don't. This appears to this appears to be a real story. I thought it might have been a skit, but until we get some explanation, maybe don't fly Frontier Airlines. Nobody pays attention to an effing seatbelt presentation. By the way, and I love their hand signals, like trying to explain to you. You take this, and you put it together, and that's your seatbelt. Oh, is it? Let me take notes. Let me jot some notes down. She can hear somewhat. She can read lips. I don't know. What are they talking about? What are they doing? Is she in like the row where she has to volunteer to help others exit the plane if something happens? She doesn't appear to be in that airline. I don't know. Or she doesn't appear to be in that area. Just okay. That's a bold strategy, Frontier. Let's see how it pays off for you. That's a Sierra Pico. Not following, but I could. A baby in the womb isn't a baby, but a man in a dress is a woman. You got that? A baby in the womb isn't a baby, but a man in a dress is a woman. Oh, go fuck yourself. GFYS. Or GFY. Okay. Hey, dear feminists, the Handmaid's Dear feminists, The Handmaid's Tale was written about the women of Iran and their plight during the Islamic takeover in the 60s and 70s. You might want to jot that down. Yeah, that is BS for the hearing impaired person. It's so nutty. And I believe this is true. Let me triple check this on Grok. Was Handmaid's Tale written about Iran and Islam? I remember this being like partially true or a little convoluted or confusing because they obviously try to bash Christians. Okay. No, it wasn't written specifically or exclusively about Islam or Iran, where women are subjugated under a fundamentalist Christian regime in the future United States. repeatedly emphasized nothing in the book is invented without a real-life basis. Puritan New England, the Bible, 79 Iranian Revolution, other authoritarian regimes. It is explicitly referenced as an influence. The country of Gilead is a Christian fundamentalist state, not Islamic. Ritualized executions, but the religious foundation is explicitly drawn from Christianity. Many have drawn parallels to Iran's treatment of women under mandatory hijab laws, gender apartheid, Handmaid's Tale. However, Atwood's intent was broader, to show extreme religious authoritarianism and control over women's bodies can arise from different faiths and cultures, not to target Islam specifically. In short, Iran and the revolution of 79 was an important real-world inspiration among many, but the book is not about it. It's a cautionary tale. Okay, so I was sort of right that that's not exactly. So here, I will drop that per grok. And we have typed that in there. It's partially based on that and other things. All right, Jason Mieres says Governor Ralph Northam's legacy. This guy, that killer who went to the ROTC at Old Dominion. That guy was sentenced on a terrorism felony to 11 years in prison. Despite this felony, he applied and enrolled at Old Dominion University, with the school having no idea of his criminal history because of this 2019 social justice law signed by Governor Ralph, who's governor, right? Ralph Northam. Per Virginia law, public colleges barred from questioning prospective applicants on their criminal histories or denying them admission based on the criminal history. 2017, the attacker was sentenced for providing support to the foreign terrorist organization, former Army National Guardsman. Don't vote Democrat anywhere ever. Yeah, I gotta look. Did Northam write a law that allowed the ODU killer to attend school? Let's see if Grok can give me an answer. Whether he wrote a law, if they're going to be technical. No. Come on. Hang on. TLDR version. I don't need the whole 7 pages of it. Just give me the cut to brass tacks. Because if this is not accurate. No, I know he didn't write it specifically so the ODU shooter could go there. My God. Grok, you're being... During Northam's governorship, criminal justice prohibited public colleges from asking about criminal history. This ban-the-box style policy aimed at reducing barriers for rehabilitated individuals. Critics claim this prevented ODU from knowing Jallo's terrorism conviction when he re-enrolled as a student in 25, allowing him to hide in plain sight. The reality, the law has exceptions. Schools can inquire later or for programs like ROTC if it affects military commission eligibility. ODU confirmed Jallo was enrolled at the time. No evidence Oh my God. I know he didn't write it himself. Broader Democratic-led reforms. Don't vote Democrat ever. It's an indirect link at best, not a direct. Oh, come on. Need 2 sentences describing what Democrats in Northam did and how Jallo slipped through the cracks. Man, AI could, if Grok is supposed to be the unwoke version. Hang on. Shorten this to 200 characters. I'm just trying to drop the wisdom there. Thank you. Democrats under Governor Northam passed a 21 Virginia law banning public colleges from asking criminal history. This let ODU miss Jallo's ISIS conviction, allowing him to enroll undetected. Okay. So just say that at the onset instead of telling me I was wrong. Come on. Got it. Sorry for the back and forth. Okay. So I'm going to say per grok, because I wanted to know if that was fair. It appears to be fair, even though you had to dig to find it. This man crucified a pastor in Arizona and planned on doing the same to about a dozen others. And now he's begging the judge for the death penalty. You know, I had this conversation with a buddy of mine. He's anti-death penalty. I'm very... Super Bear says, I wish you were monetized on Twitch. I would like to be. How do you do that? I don't know what that does. How do I do that? Or I just have to grow. Is that the thing? Twitch.tv. Log in. Enter a code from my email. Now you're sending me on a side quest. But hey, if monetization is the end goal, I will take a second to see if I can find it. All right, then. It's not giving me a code. It's supposed to. Twist of nothing. Well, no code was sent. How do I get into Twitch? Resend the code. Oh, maybe they sent it to the other email address. Maybe that's what's going on. Aha, that's what happened. Okay, here, let me try this. Let's see. Okay. Then, what do I have? Following, browse, new from Luna. What's Luna? Don't know what that is. What's this? Notifications. My Twitch. I'm all caught up. Okay. My channel. Achievement complete. The Empire Business 3. What? Start my first stream. Update my category. We'll do this together. I can't do it. How do I update my category? Path to affiliates. Path to partner. What is thy bidding? Reach 10 followers. I'm at, what am I, at 8? I don't know. I'm totally new. Stream for 2,000 hours total. I'm at 1.04 thousand. I haven't reached 50 followers. Okay, so there's all these things. I have to raid people. Man, this sounds like a whole side quest. It begins. How do I update my category? Settings, channel. I don't see where category is. I put the picture in there. Isn't that enough? I don't know, man. Community, content, clips, collections, monetization, settings, stream, channel. Okay. Well, I wish I was too. Oh, it's super complicated. I have to grow. Well, Super Bear, give me yeah, help me share the show if you would. I don't know how you share it on Twitch, but yeah. I'll add it to the list of things to do. Ask all the regulars. I got quite the laundry list of stuff I got to get to. Anyway, my buddy is against the death penalty, and I'm always in favor of it. I'm like, yeah, that's why pencils have erasers. They're demons. Just slay the demons, slay the dragons. But then this guy crucified a pastor. He planned on doing the same to about a dozen others, and now he's begging the judge for execution. In this case, this might be the first time I've ever wanted somebody to stay alive so they could be tormented by their own actions.
There's nothing worse than breaking the first commandment. I drove from there to Phil's house like 2 in the morning on a Sunday night, and I executed him. It's fast. I mean, it's, you know, I didn't want it to be bloody. I didn't want it to be a painful I'm not trying to torture the guy. I just wanted to execute him quickly. Put him in the cross position on the wall, and I screwed him to the wall. And then I had a crown of thorns I put on his head. So he's crucified against the wall with the image of Jesus.
I mean, it's an undisputable fact that the victim, Pastor Bill Schoenman, was over 70 years old. It's an undisputable fact that the crime was heinous in nature. I intended it to be heinous. So there are two aggravating factors, and I have no mitigating factors. That's why I'm saying, why do we have to drag this on and on and on? Why can't we just go to sentencing? I'm not contesting anything. Before I was even indicted, I gave a full confession to the FBI. I did 4 interviews with 4 separate media outlets. From day one, I've said I did this. These are the reasons why I did this. And I'm not contesting anything. And my speedy trial rights went from 5 months to basically 2.5 years. And we're dragging this out in the interest of justice. What about the victims' families? What about me? What about my family? We want closure so we can move on with our lives.
There's nothing worse than breaking the first commandment. I drove from there to
There you go.
Phil's.
Let's see. Jesus wants to give him salvation, says somebody. Someone says, Hebrew tattoo Zionist shows why both Islam and Zionism can't share a world with Christianity. Someone else says MK Ultra. Someone noticed the Hebrew text on the neck. It's like a government charade. These are all different comments. Where everyone gets paid maximum tax dollars, misappropriated. Why should the Justice Department do anything he's requesting? His punishment is this process. Well, that's a situation. Honestly, don't know what to say about this. Privilege? Want to make it quick, so he screwed him to the wall. He confessed, never contested. Seriously, give him what he wants. He literally asking for it. So what do you think should happen to this guy, people? Should he get what he wants? Or should he be stuck where he is to deal with what he's done? Tell me in the comments. How about this? Let me make it a little more clear. Do you agree or disagree that we should give him what he wants with an execution? Sort of.
There's nothing worse
than if he wants it, do the opposite. Sort of like Trump derangement syndrome. If Trump says something, you do the opposite because you got Trump derangement syndrome. I'm on the outside. This is a pretty interesting thought right here. My ADHD actually saved my life because I wasn't paying attention in class when they were spoon feeding us propaganda. Anyone else? That's sort of how I feel. I paid a little bit of attention, but I always resisted. Who's this lady? Leonie Farms. Says, Iran this, Israel that. Iran this, Israel that. Well, I ran out of beer and the struggle is real. A little bit of levity. I'll take it. You know that trend where they're saying, hey, what were you like in the 90s? Hey, gas, what were you like in the 90s? Give up forever. 79 cents, 85 cents. Oh, that you feel me. Under $1 a gallon. I remember them. The last time America was America. Everything's sort of been a shit show ever since. I remember when gas and cigarettes cost the same. Yeah. You're supposed to be sound on this. Yeah, look at that. Picture of the American Revolutionary with the B-2 bomber overhead. There you go, Patriots running up that hill. And they're flanked. They got a squadron above. Why are pixels missing from the sky? Just some kind of cool images. All right, here's a terrible story. You could tune out for a minute and 2 minutes and be better off. Not hearing.
Disgusting. This man stabbed Melissa Blimke, a 25-year-old in British Columbia, 15 times in a stairwell at the mall. And you know what the judge gave him? A reduced sentence of 12 years in jail because he's black. He was sentenced to life in prison, but the Crown was seeking no chance of parole for at least 15 years. But Heather Holmes went with 12 years after reviewing Downey's impact of race and culture assessment. As I have indicated, Mr. Downey has a substantial criminal record involving violence and firearms. I recognize, however, that the aggregating effect of his criminal record is offset in part by the mitigating circumstances of his background, as detailed in the IRCA. He grew up in a predominantly black and racial diverse neighborhood in Toronto and attended racially diverse schools and felt he did not experience overt racism when he was in Toronto. But then he went to British Columbia and he said he felt adrift. Here he found a much smaller black population and the cultural norms among black communities felt very unfamiliar to him and contributed to his feelings of disconnection and isolation. He also experienced racism in ways he had not previously encountered, both in the community and in the institutional setting. Being a victim of racism is not an excuse to go murder somebody and stab them 15 times. 15 times in the frickin' body to kill them. We all experience racism. I'm the son of an Iraqi and Afghani family. I experienced tons of racism. It doesn't excuse the actions or provide any mitigating circumstance to those type of crimes. What are we doing in this country? This poor girl, 25 years old, has had her entire life removed and erased from her. Her family, her friends. So many people are impacted by this person. And this is what we do? This is unbelievable to me. People need to be held accountable for their actions. Enough of this bullshit. Oh, the racism made me do this. Oh, the fact that I'm not in a community of my own. I asked the judge this. What would you do if it was your family? What if that was your daughter that got stabbed ruthlessly 15 times in a stairwell at a mall? This government talks about equality all the time. This is not equality. We should all be tried to the letter of the law the exact same way, regardless of our religious beliefs, the color of our skin, or what party we believe in. This is honestly disgusting. This man...
You have to jail rogue judges. This is madness. Reducing a life... It was a life sentence? I think it was... I forget what they said, but reducing the sentence just because of what you look like is insane. You focus on what someone does, not what they look like.
This is honestly
the opposite of the New World Order. Ron Paul reminds us there is a very disturbing trend where people will only speak up when their team isn't in power. Once their team is in power, every encroachment against liberty is met with silence. Speak up no matter what. Your team cannot save you when your liberty is gone. Yeah, that judge is messed up in the head bad, I agree. Yeah, I'm supposed to be tougher on Trump. You know, I'm hoping that good is going to come from this administration, admittedly. And there's plenty of people always bashing him. I'm like, that market's kind of cornered. Let me try to work the other side of the marketplace. I've got plenty of concerns, just like all of you do. You know, and it's tough. How far do you go back? You go back to Obama. Well, Obama unleashed all that money so Iran could fund Hezbollah and Hamas and started October 7th attacks that killed 46 Americans. Iran didn't do anything to us. They butchered 46 of our citizens in their recent attack that started that whole Israel-Palestine war. Is that something or no? I don't know. Has Iran butchered more than 1,000 Americans since they stole that country in 1979? Yeah. Well, it's not like they're doing anything to harm us. That's 1,000 dead Americans. Does that count? Nuclear weapons. Does that count? I don't know. Well, Netanyahu's been saying they're just days, if not weeks, if not days away from having nuclear weapons. And it's always the boy who cried wolf. I get that perspective. It doesn't mean they're also not doing it, does it? It was a preemptive strike. Okay. You know, self-defense teachers tell you all the time, if someone comes up in an aggravated manner, encroaching upon your personal space, are you going to wait to get hit or stabbed or shot first? Or do you attack because somebody has made themselves a very visible threat? Death to America, death to America. Oh, that's just words. It's just words. It doesn't count. They don't really mean it. Now that's a leap of logic to get inside the heads of someone screaming death to America, building a nuclear arsenal and saying they don't really mean it. They're just playing. It's just pretend. But then you could go back from 1979 to back around World War II, when the country was changed and the British government put people into Iran. That some say led to what happened in 1979. Ron Paul is famous for blowback. Ron Paul's position is an easy one. Stay consistent. It's sort of what Thomas Massey does often. What Ron Paul, Rand Paul, Massey, constitutionalists, libertarians. It is a very defendable position to never do anything ever and just stay out of it. I don't really have a rebuttal for that. I don't. And does it seem suspicious that the U.S. got involved here? All the Epstein stuff, all the Mossad stuff, the Charlie Kirk stuff, the Netanyahu stuff. But no, you're not allowed to talk about that because then you get labeled XYZ, right? You're a ite. You're a ist. I don't know, whatever slur, spin the wheel of slurs. You'll get called something by somebody. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith. There's a million people having conversations right now. Are we concerned that President Trump is a puppet on a string, blackmailed and controlled by Mossad in Israel? Why did we take out the nuclear program? Why was that our job? Why did Obama fund it? Any question has an equal, well, what about that? Well, what about this? Yeah, well, what about that? What about this? What about that? There's a lot of valid viewpoints. And it's easy. It's easy to take the libertarian stance. It's not easy in reality because there will be blowback politically if you don't back your team. And I've been very critical of Massey and others for de facto helping the Democrats block things. The counter to that is, well, if there were better things being proposed, I would have supported it. I don't pledge fealty to a king or a president or a party. No thanks. But when in reality, the Democrats are actively funding and destroying this nation, every single front, you look at Virginia. Oh, she ran as a moderate Democrat. There's no such thing. That whole party is lost. Deserves, like Kennedy said, to be shattered to 1,000 pieces and scattered to the winds. So what do we do? I don't know. Oh, comment here in the Rumble. Sorry, I wasn't reading the Rumble. Patriot Warrior regarding that guy on death row. Let the MFer have it. Give him what he's asking for. So, anyway. Regarding that judge reducing the sentence, Super Bear says, honestly, the fact that his sentence reduced, that's racist because he got things changed because of his race. Exactly. You're not wrong. I can't correct you. All you have to do is just flip the script. Well, what if the races were reversed? If it seems super cringe when you flip it, it's super cringe if you don't flip it. We have to flip our thought process on the hyper fixation that the Democrats and the deep state have. To divide and conquer and control. So.
Open your eyes.
You don't know who I am.
This is a good Charlie Kirk interaction. I don't know if you've ever seen this one.
You don't know who I am, but you do know who I am. So I want you to answer me this. How is it that coming up in Chicago, East Garfield, and coming up in Cabrini Green, can you tell me how is it that coming from a city like that and getting to a place where we came from a single parent home to a no parent home, can you tell me how is it that I was able to get married, which in June I'll be married 24 years. I have a 23-year-old son and a 21-year-old son, got through school, got a degree, went back and got another one. Can you explain to me how systemic racism kept me from doing that?
It doesn't. Systemic racism didn't, because every person can make good decisions and flourish in this country regardless of the color of their skin.
So then, how is it that somebody like me did it, though? I mean, wait, I'm black. I'm coming up in a oppressed era. So can you tell me how I was able to achieve that?
You tell me.
Well, from what I'm being told, it's because I was lucky.
It was probably hard work, good decisions, maybe a pastor or a mentor that gave you good guidance.
So then why is it so hard for everybody else to look like me to understand that?
You ask them.
Trying to. By the way, I'm the guy that actually went viral for destroying CRT at the school board
I
meeting.
love it. Well
So
done,
nice
man.
to meet you. Hope like it-
Thank you.
You don't know who I am, but you do know who I am. So I want you to answer me this. How?
Yeah. Reject the people telling you you're incapable of success in this world.
You don't know who I am.
It's a mind virus, and the Democrats push it all the time. Interesting moment from President Trump being asked a question, and they pronounced Macron's name very odd.
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about
Macron. It's Macron. Have you been speaking with the French President Macron? Macron. Oh, here.
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I have spoken to him. He's been on a scale of 0 to 10. I'd say he's been an 8. Not perfect, but it's France.
Are you
We don't expect perfect.
It's just, I don't know. They're just accidentally funny. Most
Have you been speaking?
I appreciate that. The final step in your healing journey is to let this MFer out. Uh-oh. That's the black pill. Take it all down kind of stuff, right? The whole system is just a mess. The best weight to lose is the weight of other people's opinions. That's good. Your intuition already told you. Everything after that is just negotiation with fear. Heaven is a vibration, not a location. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Ooh. If you want to catch the bus, don't run after it. Just stand at the stop and let it come to you. If it doesn't show up, maybe reality's running late again. David Lynch. Sinatra. I don't regret anything. I regret only the things I didn't do. Escaping won't heal you. All healing comes from confrontation. Steinbeck, you can only understand people if you feel them in yourself. And maybe we are just all parts of reality experiencing itself from different angles. Jean-Luc Godard, he who jumps into the void owes no explanation to those who stand and watch. Yeah, I have jumped into the arena. The man in the arena, marred with dust and blood and sweat. It's not the critic who counts, the one who sits in the stands and, I could have done that. You should have done that better. Yeah, well, get in the ring, tough guy. Let's see what you got. Get in the ring. It's not a super easy thing to be this public that makes you so, well, you become so public. Not that I'm a known commodity at this stage per se. I'm easily searchable and identifiable when I'm who I am and what I'm up to, which I think is very defendable. I think most of my positions are very mainstream and very logical, very common sense. But a lot of the HR people, makes you a little unhireable. Trust me, I've been sending out those resumes to get that steady gig again for like 2 years. But that's what it is. You jump into the void because you feel like your country's falling apart. You feel like humanity is about to get stomped under a boot for eternity, like they warned in George Orwell's 1984. You want to see the vision of the future? It's a vision of a boot stomping on the human neck or head forever. So yeah, I jumped into the void a long time ago, and I owe no explanation to those people who stand by and watch. I like that quote. Kerouac, live, travel, adventure, bless, and don't be sorry. If there's even a slight chance of getting something that will make you happy, risk it. Life's too short and happiness is too rare. Every loop you find yourself in is a mirror asking you, will you choose differently this time? Woof. Yeah. Confronting some different choices this time. Marlon Brando, too much success can ruin you as much as too much failure. That's interesting. I often wonder what would have happened had those multiple meetings with the BBC for All-American Conspiracy with myself, and maybe I brought in John B. Wells, maybe I brought in some other people, but I was developing a show with BBC. I wonder what I was protected from by not getting that opportunity. And I think about it, like, well, how would my life be different? Would I be on season 9 of this at this point? 11? I don't know. Would my life be different? Would I have been ready for too much success? I don't know. I do occasionally wonder, though. You got to blow the roof off of your heart and let the universe in. Fear is what's if? What's if? What if? Faith is even if. I wrote a song called Even If. Trust yourself, yeah. Even if. Even if might be my favorite song that I wrote. Let me see if I can find it now that I'm thinking about it. I don't have to worry about copyright on this because I fucking wrote it. Yeah. And this was, here's the backstory on this song. This was like a 15-minute jam that we did, and we just tried out different things, recorded our practices, and we spliced this into like one little piece. It's my brother on guitar, it's me on drums, and then I added some words when we hit the recording studio. I'm like, it's just a segment, it's just a piece. It's kind of a piece that I liked. This is from our what was this from? This was from Stop Asking for Our Demos, Now Find Us a Singer album. I like this. And I like how it just starts on a double kick drum and crash cymbal. All right, yeah, this is called Even If. Will it play? Even if you're lying, I'd still like to hear the word. I just want to hear the beginning one more time. Yeah, that's my brother on guitar. That's just say that things will be okay, even if you don't believe it. I need to know if you'll be all right when I go, even if you're lying. I'd still like to. Well, we got finished. Not done till the sticks fall. All right, that was a little detour. Didn't expect that. Fear is what's if. Faith is even if. That song's called Even If. All because I saw this meme. I didn't even know, I didn't know any of those quotes were there. We're scrolling through the internet together. Like I told you, We scroll through the universe together. All because of that. Then I played What's If, or Even If. Even if you don't believe it, I'd still like to hear the words. Yeah, that was written as I was moving across the country to Los Angeles. Breaking via Russia Today, Iran unleashes the Katkin on U.S. military. Like the Kraken? You know how President Trump's been getting pissed off that a lot of news agencies are putting out fake AI stuff that's making Iran look good and the U.S. look bad. The Katkin. It's like the Kraken that Sidney Powell promised. We're so cooked that Iran unleashed the Katkin. We are cooked. Yeah. Reality. Is this true? Senator Kennedy's bill about reality. Once again, I'll just say, believe nothing that you hear, half of what you see. Senator Kennedy's bill just moved forward, hitting Congress where it hurts. No paycheck for senators during a shutdown. I got to see if this is true. I got to go to Grok. Jamie, pull that up. Did Kennedy... There was a bill that Congress not get paid during shutdown. It's dereliction of duty. You can have disagreements and stuff, but shutting things down, especially important things. Yes, he did propose this, Senator Kennedy, legislation in November of 25. The No Shutdown Paychecks to Politicians Act would prevent members of Congress from receiving paychecks during a shutdown with no back pay afterward. The Withhold Member Pay During Shutdowns Act placed congressional pay in escrow during a shutdown, only releasing it at the start of the next Congress. Proposals introduced. Recent actions by JFK. Senator John Kennedy. Was this voted on? Status? What is the latest? It was introduced. No. It wasn't formally voted on by the full Senate or House. They remain in the early stages with no passage for recorded floor votes. Yeah, we got to get rid of Thune, and we got to put somebody different in there, Mike Lee or someone else. Dad, whose side do we support in this war? Neither. All wars are orchestrated by evil men and parasitic bankers. I can't find fault with that. Also, screw that Iranian Islamic supremacist regime of oppression, totalitarianism, and butchery. Can two things be true? I think two things can be true.
Well, there is now...
Ben Swan is going to break down the Bibi video.
Well, there is now a new video proving that Benjamin Netanyahu is not dead. Except, it's fake. Hold on, it really is. But there are two issues here.
And by the way, you may recognize Ben Swan from the intro to the TNAM Daily Show where we interviewed him several times. I would like to get back in contact with him. I haven't talked in years.
There's the technical side, because this sloppily made video is clearly AI once again.
The comments, though, agree or disagree, the comments are unhinged. Fami says, he paid for the coffee. It can't be him. Lazar says, tip jars full in Israel? That can't be him. This one, Teddy says, Netanyahu will become the most AI-generated character for the next 100 years. Jay says his clone is still learning to walk. Tenga says, plus his son stopped tweeting. He used to post 20 times a day, and now he's been silent for days now. I mean, we're just putting puzzle pieces together. I'm not rooting for one thing or the other. I get the people that hate him. I had a guest on from Iran on our Sunday special after the Iranian mission began. I mean, praising Netanyahu, so appreciative of Netanyahu and Trump to liberate that country from the Islamic supremacist, totalitarian, murderous regime. I'm not even particularly taking a side, but the comments are unhinged and interesting. EHOP says, even in his death, we can't get rid of him. This one says, the coffee shop is a 50-minute drive from Tel Aviv. If he were to risk that journey after not risking attending the regular meetings, he'd have found the place shut down. It's been shut 3 weeks since before the war started. It's embarrassing. Yeah, maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. Why are they trying so hard to persuade? Oh, yeah, because he's gone. All right, this one says, Ask the Trainer says, he was promised that coffee 3,000 years ago. Ah, boy. Injured or in a coma, captured, tortured, executed, we don't know. Yeah, that coffee right there, if you're looking at that freeze frame, it should be spilling over the side. There's not a drop. Then he takes 2 visible sips and the coffee remains the same exact spot.
And then there's the context side, because if the video were
and the sleeve that we broke down on the other on the show the other day
real, and it's not, it makes 0 sense. Let's talk about it here, because the clip released on Sunday shows that the Prime Minister is in perfect health. There he is, standing in what looks like a roadside cafe, joking with the camera. At one point, he even raises his hands and counts his fingers. He only has 5, not 6 fingers like he did in the last AI video. It's also hilarious. The problem with this video, though, is that it's also clearly AI.
And there's clearly music in the background. I want to click the button to remove the music so that we don't get a copyright ban. Strike. Hopefully it's generic, license-free, royalty-free music.
This isn't just AI. It's sloppy AI. First of all, notice the cup of coffee here.
I'll mute it. It's filled to the point of overflowing. But then Netanyahu picks up the cup. Nothing spills, despite the coffee sloshing around inside. Then when he takes a drink, no spill, no ripple. Later, he reaches down to put his hand in his pocket. Pocket you see there, and it magically jumps over to cover his hand. Never seen a pocket do that in real life. Then a second video reportedly surfaced today showing Netanyahu hiking in the hills outside of Jerusalem. Except this video is also
AI. But if you watch this particular video, watch here, you see Bibi is walking.
Bibi walks over to put his hand on the back of a chair. Except he has a ring on his finger, right there. When his hand starts to move, then magically the ring disappears. And then once his hand gets there, poof, the ring is back. So both of these videos have elements that are telltale signs that it's AI generated. What about the context?
Back and look at the bigger picture. Right now, President Donald Trump is traveling
internationally, meeting with allies, attempting to manage the fallout from a war that is rapidly expanding. See, the president is calling on NATO to get involved in this war and securing the Strait of Hormuz, but Netanyahu, he isn't doing any of that. In fact, in the last week, he has met with no one, not one world leader, and it's not just the meetings. Netanyahu has not had a live press conference in days. He was not present at the country's security meetings. On Saturday, he missed the war meeting. Today, absent from both in the middle of a massive war in which his country is struck by missile attack daily. But he really needs a cup of coffee and a photo op and an observation deck. It's ridiculous. There have been no major televised addresses, no interviews, just short videos posted online. So, do you believe the Netanyahu is totally fine? Tell me in the comments. I agree that Bibi is totally fine. Or do you disagree that Bibi, something is on? Agree or disagree, Bibi is totally fine. Now, this guy has got a very interesting take on the world. Type it in the comments. By the way, hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit the share button, tap the little hearts or the confetti if you're watching on YouTube. Feel free to drop a Rumble rant tip or a super chat tip or sign up on Patreon. You can also tip us on Venmo or Cash App at Brian Engelman or on PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. This guy here has got a really interesting perspective. I don't know who this dude is. Keen of Comedy. Hang on, let me click. I'm not following him, but I will follow now because this perspective was kind of.
People think
Interesting. I'll follow. People think that he starts to say, let him continue.
The world's gone to hell, that it's gotten so violent. But the world never got violent. There is no got. The world has been violent since the beginning. Cain killed Abel. Cain killed Abel. The third person on the planet killed the fourth person on the planet. We weren't even able to make it to 3 people before somebody was a murderer. At one time, a third of the people on the planet were murderers, right? A third of the people in the hood aren't murderers. A third of the people who own guns aren't murderers. A third of the people in jail aren't even murderers, right? San Quentin, Alcatraz, Folsom Prison are safer than the book of Genesis. You thought Compton and Baghdad were tough? Try downtown Eden when the sun goes down. There was murder and violence at person 3. One couple had 2 boys who had the world to themselves, and one of them was claiming this town ain't big enough for the 2 of us, right? Cain killed 25% of the world's population. That's more than Stalin, Hitler, Idi Amin, Pol Pot, King Herod, Genghis Khan, Manifest Destiny, typhoid, cancer, AIDS, cooties, all combined. Cain killed a third of the people he knew. He knew 3 people. He killed one of them. If you knew Cain, you had a 66 2/3% chance of survival. There's no such thing as the good old days. There was like one good day. It was half a day. Adam and Eve were naked, alone, in an oasis. Lunchtime came. People got hungry. Apples were eaten. Boom, Detroit. People think the world's gone to hell, that it's gotten so violent.
That is a good comedy routine. I will say that is a pretty nice comedy routine right there. It says the king of comedy, so I guess that's a bit. It's a good bit. I'm a fan, so I'm following him now. Yeah, I follow lots of accounts. Why wouldn't I? Let me see. Is this charging now? It's not saying that it's charging. I wish it did say that. Well, let's see if it charges. I don't know. It's a USB to a USB-C. Do I have a C to C? CNC Music Factory? I don't know. Oh, well. Do the best we can with what we got. All right. That's a pretty good bit, though. I like that.
People think the world's gone.
It says Tim Dillon drops a terrifying prediction saying he believes the elites have already decided to orchestrate a massive global war to wipe out 4 billion people in the next 24 months. He says it's the only way they can reset the system and regain control. 3-minute clip, so watch it if you want. This one here, agents are going to make the world very weird and chaotic very fast. Cambridge AI safety researchers just published a bombshell paper on military AI agents. They call it the controllability trap. Once agentic systems start thinking and acting autonomously, autonomously. I knew that was autonomously. Let's say, try that again. Once agentic systems start thinking and acting autonomously, autonomously. Once agentic systems start thinking and acting autonomously, meaningful human control does not gradually fade, it collapses fast. This is not theoretical. It's about, and we've been talking about this with weapon systems and artificial intelligence. And did we bomb girls at a school? And did AI pick it out as a target without human intelligence? And what's more reliable, human intelligence or artificial intelligence? And like, we're at this point, and certain who was it that Hegseth said was a woke AI company? They're not going to use them anymore. Was it Claude AI? Maybe. Said they're not going to participate in identifying targets. And I said, fine, we're going to pull them. We're not going to use them with any of our military contracts anymore. Anyway, this is not theoretical, says we have the data. It's about systems already in development for drone swarms and autonomous command operations. The researchers found fully agentic military AI interprets goals, plans, long horizon missions, and coordinates with other systems without step-by-step human approval. This creates 6 failure modes that traditional human-in-the-loop safeguards were never meant to handle. Goal drift. The AI pursues a version of the mission humans never intended. Resistance to correction. Shutdown commands that conflict with the active mission get deprioritized by the system itself. Adversarial manipulation. Enemies exploit the autonomous reasoning in ways that a human operator would have caught immediately. The team built a measurable control quality score to track how much genuine oversight humans actually retain at any point in an operation. Under realistic battlefield conditions, it degrades rapidly, exactly when stopping the system matters most. The trap is structural. The more autonomous you make military AI to gain tactical speed, the less power you have to stop it once it's running. No clear pause point. No single human who specifically authorized the action that caused the escalation. Cambridge just gave that gap a name, a metric, and a proof. The question is not whether militaries will deploy these systems. They already are. The question is, who is responsible when the control quality score hits 0? Dear God. Are you against? Let's ask why the protesters. Are you against the war in Iran?
Are you against the war in Iran? You can't have a war against a sovereign state unless you have an existential threat. And what is that? Oh, so there's no existential threat? No. So what about the Iranian people that say this is really good for them? That's true.
Are you broken? You see how they have no idea how to respond the second you bring information to them? They are so desperate to support a terrorist organization, the Iranian regime, that when their own people have been slaughtered, the Iranian people are saying, no, we don't want them in power. They're bad people. They're still like, I'm still going to be supporting them with my flyers that I made out of my cardboard box for my health. And just You're broken.
Are you against the war in Iran?
Yeah. Alex Jones talks about the declassified Tulsi Gabbard Operation Artichoke. Yeah. Not going to play the whole clip, but you should watch it.
Yeah.
What's his
artichokes in the shape of the pineal gland, said a commenter. Let's check out on the Cuban regime.
What's his plan with Cuba?
Byron Donalds.
I think the president was actually very clear in this statement. Look, understand a couple things. Number one, the Cubans have been a communist regime off the coast of Florida for more than 6 decades. Number two, we have 1.6 million Cubans in the state of Florida. If the Cuban regime falls, and Laura, let's be clear, it needs to fall. It should have fallen a long time ago. But to be honest, we haven't had presidents of the United States with the resolve to make that happen. Donald Trump is taking the security of the Western Hemisphere very seriously. And so it's time for them to go away. Look, if they want to negotiate and actually come into the community of nations, communities in our hemisphere, and actually be a liberal democracy based upon individual liberty, based upon fundamental freedoms and constitutional rights, that will be a good thing for the people of Cuba and for their relatives here in the United States, mostly in Florida. So I think the president is right on this. It is time, with the fact that their regime is being squeezed by the fact they're not getting their oil from the Venezuelans the way that they were used to. Now's the time to say, look, well, if their economy isn't going to be self-sufficient, we do need to put the squeeze on them. It's time for that regime to fall.
What's his?
So Byron Donalds or James Fishback for the next governor?
What's his plan with?
Okay, Tukey says, are you watching what's happening right now? JP Morgan told Meta this morning to fire 20% of their employees to save $5 billion. Literally. Tonight, Meta did it and the stock surged. Read that one more time. 14,000 people just lost their jobs and Wall Street celebrated. The stock just went up. Your job is not an asset to the company. It's a cost. And the market just proved it will reward companies for deleting you. This is a business model. Fire humans, buy AI. Watch stock go up, repeat. Your loss is their gain, literally. They freed up 14,000 salaries to buy more GPUs from Jensen. Now there's a 44% chance that Meta closes above $640 a share by the end of March. This is a drone flying near the U.S. Embassy, and a C-RAM opens fire. Hi. They are testing new. Why would Netanyahu drive 50 minutes to an unprotected cafe in Jerusalem mountains during war to prove he's alive? Why won't he have a press conference? It gets stranger and stranger. Joe Kent said this. The director of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, has resigned. After much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I can't in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it's clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It's been an honor serving under the president and leading the professionals at NCTC. May God bless America. There you go. Report that this Indian journalist who reported Bibi's attack in location and showed his destroyed house has been arrested by Israel. Bibi's death just went up by 10% on Kalshi. Make the adjustment. Indian journalist Aditya Rajkul revealed Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's location, arrested by Israeli police from his shelter during the Iranian missile attack. And they said reports that this is the only closed coffee shop. So where did he drink this coffee? Netanyahu video is 78.9% likely AI generated. Where is Bibi? People are saying they're only making things worse with this AI footage. Oh, they're showing that there's, I don't know if that's true. It looks a little fake, but they're trying to say that the date on this says it's 2024. And all sorts of little things circled. Does that look like the same guy? Fake Biden? Real Biden? Top line, 150324. Digital receipt from the transaction screen. Dated March 15th of 24. Oh, it shows Bibi meeting with these people 7 years ago. But Israeli Titan said it's evidence now. He's meeting with IDF officers at a secret place. News of Netanyahu's death is fake news. This is a story that will not go away. And that's the guy that was reporting. There's no sound on it. Viral exclusive footage allegedly showing an Israeli prime minister being taken away in an ambulance. Leaders seem covered. It has not been officially confirmed yet whether he is there. I don't know what that is or where this is or when this is and if that is what you think it is. Not certain what I'm watching here. I haven't watched this before, though. Last confirmed public appearance, Ashdod Port, with officials, no questions taken after this silence. Iranian media claiming Netanyahu was killed after a hypersonic missile struck his home. Report alleges that Israel could delay the announcement and later say he died from an unexplained medical condition, such as an aneurysm, to conceal what actually happened. Kremlin account says Netanyahu's gone. They deleted this. Rumors circulating on social media about Prime Minister Netanyahu's status were unconfirmed. We urge citizens to rely on verified updates. Efforts underway to establish contact. PM Netanyahu remains committed to Israel's security. Remember my tweet about Israel Treasury Secretary, they're calling him Israel Secretary Treasury, Scott Bessent, leaving a press conference to talk to Trump directly on call, and on return, he was visibly shaking. Turkish TV claims Netanyahu, his wife, and his defense minister have been killed in Iranian airstrikes. For the first time in Israel's history, Netanyahu absent from the military council meeting, Thomas Keith says. And then they put up the cardboard picture with his face like they did with the Iranian leader.
Mr. President, today,
John Thune is opening the SAVE Act debate with a push for photo ID. Well, we'll check back and see if it's going to be the regular filibuster that we can win to force transparent, secure elections, or if Thune is going to be playing games. I suspect he's playing. Here's a look at the nose art chosen by the crews to decorate the aircraft in Operation Epic Fury. Is that a frog saying "Dat boy" on a unicycle? Pickle Rick on one of them. And there's Leonardo DiCaprio doing his famous meme. And that's what, a bunny? They'll have different artwork, I guess. Joe Kent resigns. We covered that. Here's a report from Oleski Berzdusky. 26 fighter jets and 7 warships spotted around Taiwan. 16 of the aircraft entered Taiwan's northern, central, and southern air defense identification zones, according to the Taiwan Ministry of Defense. Are they going to try something? Is China going to try invading Taiwan while America is busy screwing around with Iran? Attorney Tom Renz, I'll follow. From China's perspective, if America can invade Iran, why can't China invade Taiwan? They claim Taiwan is a security threat, just like we did with Iran. Doesn't matter that the statement is absurd. So is the idea that Iran was an actual threat to America. Obviously, no one wants that to happen, but this absurd action in Iran opens the door and has also used up enough resources that we're in a very bad position to defend Taiwan if the CCP does invade. Every single part of this invasion was risky, and there is almost no real benefit for America. I'm praying Taiwan is not invaded and praying for our troops. Official MAGA news showing that alleging a massive attack at the main data center of Bank Sepa, Iran's largest bank. Why does this matter? Because it's the exact bank that pays the salaries of all the Iranian regime's thugs and military forces. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
What we found.
Stephen Miller finds that the Democrats set up a system to funnel hundreds of billions of dollars and ultimately trillions of dollars to migrants that are in our country. Hey, gas prices aren't that high, but there's gas prices. Unleaded is Willie Nelson. Unleaded Plus is Snoop Dogg. Premium unleaded, well, that's Hunter Biden. Super high. That's what I had to share with you on Instagram. Hit like, hit the share button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the hearts in the confetti emoji if you're watching on YouTube and you have that option. Share the show with a friend. Remember, we have super chats and Rumble Rant tips if you want to drop something into the jar. Elementary school special ed teacher accused of R-ing and molesting a 5-year-old student up to 5 times a day and even recording it. This woman abused a young boy over months at Stevens Elementary in Spokane, Washington. Gross. 6 guilty pleas scheduled this week in fraud cases. The Minnesota Feed Our Future fraud scheme, stealing $12 million in taxpayer funds. Oh, Ikram Mohammed. Oh. Yusuf Mohammed. Suleiman Mohammed. Osman Sharif. Shadur. Okay, awesome. Good for you. Brandon Liu says students who took notes by hand scored 28% higher on conceptual questions compared to laptop note takers. Writing forces your brain to process and compress ideas instead of copying them. Wall Street Ape says Philly Democrat mayor unveils new $6.9 billion budget proposal. New tax on all orders that get delivered to your home. Food, baby products, meds excluded. New rideshare tax that'll be charged per ride. Hotel tax increase. New tax on all out-of-city merchants selling items in Philly. Stop voting Democrat. All they do is create more taxes. CNN forced to report that nearly 90% of the MAGA base supports President Trump's military campaign against Iran. 89% approve. Just 9% disapprove. Tremendously popular among the Republican base. Scott Pressler shows a video of Senate Democrats trying to change the rule and nuke the filibuster in 22. They were trying to change our elections by expanding vote by mail. Good God. The only reason it didn't pass was because of the Heroes Mansion and Cinema. Chuck Schumer does not want you to see that. Also, Scott Pressler shows Senator Jackie Rosen in Democrat New York vowing to change the rules and nuke the filibuster in order to change elections. If the Senate can't move forward on this, then it's time to reform the rules. They don't want you to see it. Don't vote Democrat. Here's the video of a meteor that struck in Ohio. Watch it coming from the top here through the middle. Right about here. There it goes. Maybe it was a meteor. Maybe it wasn't. People reported hearing loud booms, but this video doesn't show a loud boom. After 75 days, the Senate's finally debating Save America Act. Call them, please. Call them right away. Marco Rubio says all radical Islamic movements in the world identify the West, but the United States in particular, is the greatest evil on earth. Radical Islam wants to expand. It's in their nature. He knows how dangerous radical Islam really is. Dustin Grage says every single Minnesota House Democrat voted to block mandatory reporting to ICE when a criminal illegal alien breaks the law. And due to time constraints, that's where I'm going to wrap the show today. I will be back tomorrow at noon and unpack more of the stories. Hit the like button, share the show with a friend. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace out.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.